bro, let me talk about the fucking car dealership. I was driving a 2021 Jeep Renegade. And it was fine, but like it would kick a lot, and so I was scared the transmission was going, although it was so new, and it also had a recall on it. So I was like, you know what, F it. And I also wanted a bigger car too, because like doing groceries and stuff, I didn't really have a lot of trunk space. Not enough trunk space in the Renegade. No, it was like a compact SUV, and like doing groceries and stuff was annoying because my apartment's small. I'd have to like put stuff in my car. The Renegades aren't big Jeeps, and they're being discontinued, and mine had a recall, and so I'm just like, let's see. I go in for service, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my car inspected, tires rotated, oil changed, the whole shebang. But I'm almost out of my warranty, and I don't know, I was just like, I just have a bad feeling that something's gonna happen to my car, so let me just like, if someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, you got this car, what if you traded it in and it'd be this much? And I'd be like, sure, why not? And so I'm sitting there. No, I like walk into the dealership room, because like that's where the waiting area is, because they're smart like that. They put the dealership right next to the waiting area for you're waiting for service. So then of course like car salesman comes up to me, he's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm getting my car looked at. And he's like, oh, okay. And I don't know if like he was like younger, and I'm like, is this his first job? I don't know if I'm intimidating. I was just wearing my Totoro hoodie. I realized at one point that my pants were falling down because my sweatpants were too big, and I realized I had whale tail at one point, so that's probably another reason why people were eager to work with me. I thought I had my sweatpants pulled over, and I didn't realize when I was sitting in the chair that my winter jacket and my hoodie were like bunched up, and then I'm like, I feel like there's air. And then I pulled them up, and I'm like, shit. I had two people sitting behind me at one point that definitely saw that. So that was awkward. Yeah, sometimes my pants just fall down. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, that's besides the point. I pull up my pants, and I put my big girl pants on, and I'm like, let's talk business. I got there at 10:30 a.m. I didn't leave till 5 p.m. because these dudes kept messing with me. And they kept stringing me along. My first initial sales guy was fine. He was sweet, took me for a test drive. I test drove 2 Compasses. I test drove a 2022 Trailhawk, and I test drove the Jeep Renegade. Jeep Compass 2024, just the like Latitude. And I'm just like, oh, like this is really nice. It drove really nice. I almost killed myself in the freaking Trailhawk because the brakes, I told the kid, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stop short because I want to test out the brakes. And he's like, okay. And I stopped short, and the brakes did not brake. And I wasn't going fast. I was going maybe like 20 miles per hour. And I'm just like, geez, like what the hell? And I'm like, well, I don't want this car. I told the other sales dude, when, like the GM, the fake GM, he wasn't the GM. He was some sort of manager, not the actual manager. I was just like, yeah, no, you guys need to get the car looked at because the brakes. Yeah, exactly. When the snow comes, I'm just like, and when it's raining and stuff, I'm like, great, I'm literally gonna slam into something. And oh, I think I had a dream last night that I got into a car accident. Maybe that's why. Get back after driving. I really liked the Jeep Compass, the 2024. And I was just like, I have a 2021. Like, it could be a 2022 or 2023. I don't have to get a 2024. Like, why are you trying to push me on this 2024? They had like 4 different managers come up to me because I run a hard bar. Like, I am so stubborn. I'm not scared to speak my mind. I did get Karen at one point because they were literally, as you guys know, they were just messing with me and then promising something and then not doing it. I don't know if I'm being gaslit, because I swear to God, one of the dudes, he's just like, okay, we're gonna give you exactly what you wanted, no strings attached, just like, I'm just gonna strip the whole deal, do this. I'm like, I want everything that was included. Like, I wanted the insurance, they had like other incentives, and I'm like, I want those incentives. And he's like, deal. And I shook his hand. I'm like, yes. And that's when I posted, I'm like, let's go, I did it, bro. Then I sit with the financial dude after doing everything. I didn't expect to be straight up lied to, though, because last time, although this dealership was bought out by another company, and I was used to working with the other company, and I realized I prefer the other company. So I'm sitting with the financial dude, and he's like, oh, it's gonna be like $500. And I'm like, what the shibbity? No, like, that's not what I agreed to. I wanted my original. I said, in a perfect world, I will get this 2024 Compass for the exact amount that I am paying for my car right now. I am not going to budge on that. I have a nice interest rate. I could pay off the car in a couple months In a perfect world, you would give me exactly for what I'm paying with all these incentives and the new warranties and all this stuff, and then I'll buy it. But if you can't do that for me, all I wanted to know is how much was my Jeep Renegade worth, which it was not a lot. It depreciated so fucking much already. After 2 years, it depreciated by half. And I was just like, the fuck? I'm like, I could just like pay it off and then like sell it, just save and be money conscious and do that. And then the same guy comes to me later after telling me, oh, like the financial dude's like $500. And then I'm just like, nah, give me the fucking manager, bro. I'm not signing all this shit. Like, he just lied to me. He said, I'm like, redacted. Isn't he the GM? He's like, no. And I'm like, he told me he was the general manager of the dealership. He's just like, I don't like him very much. He's kind of a dick. And I'm like, what the fuck? Although, props to the financial dude. I had not eaten all day. It was around 4 at this point. And I'm like, I just need to get the frick out of here. I need to get home. I'm like, I need to get home to my cat. She's special needs. I have stuff to do. I have work to do. Like, I am done being here. I was just getting so irritated. And I'm like, I think I'm getting hangry. This sweet, he's like an older Spanish gentleman, takes out his lunchbox, puts it on the desk, and hands me a keto protein bar. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you. He's like, it's okay. He's like, you don't seem to be doing too well. You look a little bit pale. And I'm like, is this some sort of like bribe? Because it's not working, but thank you. All the stuff they had at the vending machine was stuff I couldn't eat. It was like really like fat stuff, just like chips and like all this stuff that I really couldn't eat. And they had like sodas and stuff that I've been trying to avoid. And I'm like, and they had like hot chocolate, which is like, I can't really have chocolate either. And so he gives me something that I can eat, and I'm just like, oh my God, thank you. I ate it and I felt a little bit better. So then the guy who lied to me saying that he was the general manager comes over and he holds out his hand. He's like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm not gonna touch your hand. I'm like, I'm kind of pissed off right now. I don't feel like shaking your hands. I got really bitchy, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna shake your hand. You just lied to me. Then this guy, the fake manager, is telling me, he's just like, oh, I'm like, what happened to the amount that I agreed on? And he's just like, oh, because this guy, the financial dude, is trying to upsell you. And I'm like, wait, he just gave me a protein bar that saved my life, and you're telling me he just randomly added like a bunch of other warranty stuff that I didn't fucking see? Why shaking AI? Because I'm like, I shook your hand earlier. I don't need to shake your hand again. I don't like touching other people, by the way. At my past job, customers would always try to shake my hand or give me a hug after like a good sale or whatever. And I'm like, that's great and all, but I don't like to be touched. I don't like touching people. Like, don't touch me. But then yeah, then he was shitting on him. Then this other dude comes over and he was shitting on him. They're all literally just shitting on each other. I talked to 2 higher ups. The salesperson's fine. Props to Redacted. He did a great job. I will say he didn't know shit. I knew more than him. I'm like, oh, what's the trim? What's this? What's the end? Like, what's the cylinders? What's that? And he's just like, I don't know. And I'm like, bro, why are you trying to sell me this car right now? What he was good at was making a personal connection, because he was telling me like he had just come up here for travel with his dad and blah, 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 blah. And then his dad's trying to guilt me, saying he's like, oh, I'm just trying to get my son a sale. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore if you're trying to give your son a sale. That's great. I wanted to give him the sale. I'm like, does it have this? Does it have that? And then I'm talking to the financial dude. He's like, oh yeah, it has automatic start. I'm like, the kid didn't even fucking tell me his automatic start. The dad was cool, because again, he reminded me a lot of my dad. Just like how he spoke in mannerisms, but I don't like to be guilted, and then I don't like to be gaslit. And then I went outside to call my parents and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then this girl is backing out like a nice ass truck with a flat tire. It was literally like a bald, and then somebody else is running out screaming at her like, why are you driving on a flat? You know it's a flat, right? Like the tire is literally like, it was so, girl, how do you not feel that it's literally to the fucking rim? Like, what? This is supposed to be a better company that bought out the last company, but like all of you guys are crap. And I'm talking to my salesperson and he's like, oh yeah, the whole other company, like the staff quit. And I'm like, I wonder why. Does it have heated seats? Oh baby, does it have heated seats? It has heated seats and a heated steering wheel. Oh, okay. I know, it was like, oh my God, these heated seats, my coochie is so toasted. Toasted coochie for all. I can't remember if it has a de-icer. I think it will de-ice the mirrors, but it doesn't de-ice like the windshield. I have really cold extremities. Like I got Raynaud's, so my fingers will turn white sometimes. I remember I had a Jeep Liberty at one point and I was just dying of cold because the heat sometimes wouldn't work and I had to wear like the craziest gloves. And I also get colds like even during like warm days. So it'll be like 60, 70 degrees out and I'm just like, I can't feel my fingers because I have nerve issues. So I'm sitting there and I'm at my wit's end. I'm like, I need to get home to Fia. She's probably like had an accident in her bed. Like I hadn't been there for a couple hours. I was literally just going to stop, get inspected, get my oil changed, check to see if the recall was necessary and do the recall fix. I was going to go to the mall to get some other stuff because I needed like body wash, I needed blah blah blah, and I'm literally stuck there till like 5 p.m. I'm about to walk out and demand my keys, and the guy comes over, he's like, oh, we already put it through to corporate, like I would hate to like have you back. I'm like, well, I haven't signed anything, so I still can. So either you're going to give me exactly what I want or we are done here. Like I need to get back home, I have stuff to do, I'm tired of my time being wasted. And he's just like, okay, let me make some calls. I'm like, okay. And he comes back and be like, okay, yeah, we can do it. I'm like, wow. Oh my God, it's been like 5 hours. Oh my God. Thank you for finally doing what I wanted. And so I have walked out with a 2024 Jeep Compass. I don't know if it's a Latitude Luxe. I think it's just a Latitude. For exactly what I was paying for my 2021 Jeep Renegade with a brand new warranty and all the bells and whistles and incentives. And I got it for I got like 10K off of it. I didn't like buy the car outright. I'm not fucking rich. I'm making payments on the car. Literally with car dealerships, you have to be firm and stubborn and be like, keep saying no. And you're not supposed to, if they come back and they're like, oh, okay, we'll do this for 5. I'm like, no, I'm like, what, do what I asked for. They're like, okay, what if we do for this? I'm like, no, do what I asked for. Okay, what if I do for that? I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna leave. And they're like, what can we do to earn your business right now? I'm like, give me what I asked for. And they're like, okay, we'll make some calls. And I'm like, thank you. I can be very stern. And mind you, I'm standing there in my Crocs and my sweatpants and my Totoro hoodie, yelling at 3 grown men. Because I was over it. And I'm like, I don't care if you can't take me seriously. I don't care that I'm dressed like a dork right now. Yeah, I won. I got a nice new car with heated seats and a bunch of other cool stuff. And I let it pay exactly what I was paying before. So, woo! With all of my stuff renewed. But that is the saga of the car dealership.